Hello everyone and welcome to this second unboxing video for Museum. In this video I'm going to be showing you all of the Kickstarter exclusive content of the Museum Core box. So if you, for whatever reason, are watching this video and you did not back the Museum Kickstarter project but would like to see what's in a basic box of Museum, there is another video for that and we have posted the link below, somewhere below. Okay, so let's get started and have a look at what is in the box. So, when you first open up the box, you are going to be getting rulebooks. So, push this out of the way so everyone can see. So, you will be getting your basic rulebook and your Kickstarter exclusives rulebook. So, just to give you a very quick look at what's inside, you are going to have all of the basic rules for the game. And then you will have your secondary smaller rulebook for all of the Kickstarter exclusives, which includes solo mode, all of the mini expansions, and also a glossary for all of the Kickstarter exclusive headline cards, expert cards, patron cards, all of the extra bits and bobs that you got in with the game, just to make sure that you understand how to use them. So, moving on. You are also going to be getting this Kickstarter exclusive element. So these are the discard boards. So there are 5 of them in the box in case you have bought the 5th player expansion. So these are just basic cardstock. Just to give you a good look at them there. They are just for, as a reminder, for just to give you a place to put your discarded cards when playing Museum, basically. So all illustrated by Vincent Dutrait, as always, so we are really happy with how they look. They are very beautiful. Next up, you have got your Crystal Skulls expansion board. So this is a Kickstarter exclusive mini expansion for Museum, in which you're going to have Crystal Skull cards hidden in the various continent decks, and you are going to be able to play them and trade them off to this shady looking gentleman during the game to earn extra points as you go along. Again, gorgeously illustrated by Vincent. I love how sneaky he looks. Next up, we have got the continent board. So, as a reminder, this is just to give you some extra space to put your continent decks on if you do not wish to have them on the main museum board. So there are spaces on the main museum board for your decks, but this gives you a little extra option if you wish. So this particular element is in punchboard. Okay, so you have your expert board, which is shown in the other video, but I'll just give you a quick look here. Next up, you have the main board. So just to give you all a look as well, we are so happy with how this turns out. It looks really, really beautiful, so thematic, so gorgeous, gorgeous work by Vincent Dutrait, as always. Next up, we have the player board. So there are 4 of these in the 4 different player colours. So these are in laminated cardstock, so they are slightly thinner than the main board, but they have a really beautiful matte finish that we're so happy with. So they are really sturdy. They lay very nice and flat on the table. The colours really pop, and the fact that there's a matte finish on them means that you don't get the shine that you get on a lot of different sort of types of boards. So we're really happy with how that's turned out as well. So they are all double-sided. So you have your basic layout here, and then on the other side you have a slightly more difficult museum layout, which can get you more or less points depending on what kind of strategy that you're going for. So I won't show you all of the player boards, but I will show you the little sheet of punchboard that you're going to be getting. So these are all of the prestige tokens. You have got your public opinion tokens, your player tokens. You've got your customs and embargo tokens here, which are what happens when a headline card closes off a continent or makes it so that more or less cards are available. So I'll just pop out one of the little tokens here so that you can have a look at the thickness and general look of them. So move that to one side. They have a slightly ridged cutout along the top to sort of match the visual design of them. So we're really happy with how all of these have turned out as well. Pop those off to one side. And now for the most interesting part. So this is the insert of the museum box, and this is how you're going to be able to store all of your Kickstarter exclusives. We had a lot of questions during the campaign as to whether or not everything would fit into the main box, and the answer is yes, absolutely. So we'll start with the bit that catches everybody's eye when you open up the box. So I'll just move that to one side. You, of course, have got all of your player tokens, and the first player token So the first player token is this beautiful large bust of Charlotte here, who's our main character, who's also present on the game box. And then you have 6 little player figurines that you can choose to use instead of the colour counters that are in Punchboard, that are included in the base game. So these are most definitely Kickstarter exclusives. The level of detail on them is really beautiful. We're very happy with how these turned out as well. So Charlotte herself cuts a very impressive figure. We would love to see how you guys go about painting these and the first player bust as well. So, moving on. You will notice that in the box insert you have a larger space here, which is for these, and these are the Extraordinary Explorers cards that were part of the Kickstarter exclusives. So this is a mini expansion that just gives you these extra large format cards to play with. Just a quick reminder, these take up 2 extra spaces in your museum, but they give you really, really strong powers, so they're very expensive to buy, but they can be brilliant for getting extra points and finishing off your collections. So, put these up here. In the other different areas of the box, so you have your regular expert cards here. So these small spaces here are for your expert cards. And then we have the Kickstarter exclusive expert cards, which are these ones. So these are your regular Kickstarter exclusive expert cards. And then, just turn them over so you can actually see. And then these particular cards here with the blue back with the Alphonse Legros character on them are for solo mode play. So these have various different difficulty numbers on them. If you would like to know how solo mode works, we have a video for that on this channel as well. So next up, we have some more Kickstarter exclusive elements over here. So I personally have tidied them away here. Obviously, you can do whatever you like to put them away, but these are the assistant cards. So these are a Kickstarter exclusive as well. They give you the possibility of having a slightly asymmetrical start to the game. So everybody gets to pick an assistant, and then this assistant will give you a specific advantage in one domain or another throughout play. So once you become a bit of an expert museum player, that's always a good one to add a little bit more spice to the contents of your games. And then here we have the Crystal Skull cards. So I keep them apart because the backs of them are like regular continent cards. So if you're not planning on playing with the Crystal Skulls expansion, it just stops you from having to sort of sort them out every time you want to play a regular game of Museum. But they are easily identified by the skull here on the top and the fact that they are literally all skulls and there are no other skull artifacts in Museum. So you can keep those to one side. So there you have it. That is the main contents of the box. We also have a few Kickstarter exclusive patron cards in here. There are a few bits and pieces that you can look at. The difference between the basic patron cards which have an M on the back and patron cards which have an S on the back is that the S ones are for solo play. So they have slightly different challenges on the front. Only for solo play. I'll let you guys go and take a look at the solo play rules video if you're interested in a solo play for Museum. So there you have it for the base box. You can see all of the continent decks have their little area. There's plenty of space in there if you would like to sleeve your Museum cards. Same for all the other spaces as well. There's plenty of space there. And then these spaces obviously to keep all your little tokens, extra pieces of card and things like that. So there you have it. That is the contents of the base Museum box. But that's not all, because we have another expansion to look at. If you participated in the Museum Kickstarter, you will also have this, possibly. So this was a add-on, Cthulhu Relics. If you purchased it during the Museum campaign, this is what it looks like when you open the box. So this was a double illustration work by Vincent Dutré and Loic Musy, and also Ekaterina Varlamov, obviously, who's helped us out with a lot of smaller parts of the project. So you start off with your rulebook here. So it's just a small rulebook, the same as all of the other Museum expansions. If you're interested in the other Museum expansions, they are also in the other video. So you can have a look at them in that if you're interested in looking at them. So once you've taken your rulebook out, this is what you get in the box. So you have a deck of Cthulhu Relics object cards, which are all very specific to the Lovecraftian universe. So gorgeous illustrations by Loic Musi and Vincent Dutray. And you also have your token here. So this is a token that you can get by playing the most Mythos cards into your museum. And then here you also have a small deck of extra cards. So these are headline cards and event cards. Sorry, headline cards are event cards. These are headline cards, beg your pardon, and expert cards, which are specific to the expansion. So if you want to avoid them getting mixed up into your regular game of museum, they all have this little Cthulhu stamp on them, which is just a way to make them easily identifiable as part of an expansion. And there you have it. So just to recap, this is the only Kickstarter exclusive expansion for Museum. All of the other expansions are on the other video. And that is all she wrote. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful to you, or that it at least made you feel really excited about receiving your version of Museum. If you have any questions, as always, we're available in the comments, either on Kickstarter. You can send us a message on Facebook. We'll always do our best to answer you as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.